Well, I also just feel like it shouldn't have gone that way. I don't understand how he was basically dead. I went down and then...
We just lost like all of our damage somehow.
You really did like stop and try to shoot him as much as you could instead of shooting the trash?
If I stopped him, I would get annihilated.
I mean, you really want to put your DPS into the boss because then it ends and then you keep the trash around so you can get second wins.
I was trying not to attack the trash mobs until I went down, and I didn't do that, yet they just stayed the same number the whole time, but somehow they were still able to deal enough damage to down me in one hit.
Oh boy, I don't know. Definitely sucks though.
Seems to me like with the mosquito on, our chances got worse.
I mean, I was doing better.
I think I was doing better with my old gear. You might be doing better than mosquito, but I think this mosquito is not doing me good.
I told you to switch over. It's not a discussion or argument. It's fine. Switch over. It's just the mosquito's mantle. Let's make sure that... Did you have... Your positive one, you had it on?
Yes,
the volatile.
I had it on.
Okay, and you had the barbaload on?
I have the barbaload on. Yes, I do.
Well, then you should have everything required to proc that.
It seemed like it did the whole time.
Well, then go back to your old thing. I just rush through these menus so we can do this thing.
I'm gonna check that pin cushion.
Our team's falling apart here.
Yeah. Attacks have a 17% chance to fire attached cross bolts to nearby enemies.
Well, I know that the Riveter is definitely a... Yeah, the Riveter shotgun. I mean, those are all arrows. That thing should have done insane damage when you hit the boss with that thing.
Seemed like it was doing less damage than all my other guns.
Then switch over then. I mean, it's weird. I don't know why that would have happened, considering the math behind the mosquito's mantle is pretty well busted, but if it happened that way, it happened that way. Let's go, though. I don't want to be on this game all night. We know that.
Borderlands. Borderlands being Borderlands.
Yeah, I guess. It's still... That guy was never a problem for us.
He was probably one of the easier levels.
We've never been stopped on him. We've been stopped on the boss, and we've been stopped in the trash waves. You got the new gear on now, right?
Yeah, I got the normal one on now. I can heal a lot faster.
And you're sure you didn't change anything else about your gear or your build?
Yes, I'm sure.
What shield are you using?
I can't check yet.
The shield and class mod, well, the class mod is the armor, so we already know where you're at there.
Okay, I have the... Shield. I have the jacketed cursed wit on.
You got the cursed wit. What's it do again?
On spell... Kill him, he's not that important anyways. On spellcast, increase gun damage by 30% for 10 seconds. While ward is depleted, gain plus 17% damage reduction. And gain 100% increased damage dealt to nearby enemies.
So basically that should work in sync with your Buffmeister.
Yeah.
Did you have your Buffmeister equipped for that run?
Yes.
Weird.
Seems like it's forgetting a few... Seems like Wonderlands doesn't know how to do math anymore. 'Cause that should have been crazy amounts of damage if...
The lag could have impacted it too. I took a clip, like literally the boss was upside down and stuff. It might be more shift nonsense.
It's not registering stuff.
It's possible. But it also seemed like you were bouncing around doing like 2 shots and then fighting trash and then bouncing, doing 2 shots and fighting trash.
As soon as every time I hopped around him, I would empty a whole mag and every single bullet would hit him, it looked like.
It sucks that he has that middle phase to him. It should really just be a one and done rather than a repeat of Vorkanair altogether. I've never liked that middle phase with that boss fight.
Even if he has another critical spot, it's still just annoying to go get rid of another half of his health bar.
If you're gonna do that, then make it flesh. Like, why? It's so stupid to me that you destroy all of his armor and then you put a bomb on his head and he gets a whole nother set of armor. It should be shield or flesh, not, oh, you got to do the same thing again. Because he's somehow stronger now. But they're never gonna change it. Oh, there's a golden shroomlet over here. Help me.
Coming.
Hit him with a spell.
Coming.
I cannot see shit on my screen. You see him over here?
Is it here?
Yeah, he's right here.
I see him.
Hit him with the spell. Hit him with your gelatinous or cube thing. Guns don't affect.
It says he's immune
guns
to
don't
it.
affect him. Use spells. I say spells. Like I said spells like 4 times, and you started shooting him with the machine guns, and then you said he's immune to it. And I told you like 3 times he's immune to guns. I swear to God, neither you nor Quinn ever actually listened to me, Tucker.
Huh?
Spells.
Yeah.
Yeah. Holy crap. The gelatinous cube, if you get it stuck on him, should...
I don't have the gelatinous cube.
How did that happen? You told me you had that equipped.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did, Tucker. Right before we started this run, and I asked you what you were running, you said you had the cube equipped because that's how we did damage to the boss when we found out that he was immune to frost and dark magic.
I don't remember saying that.
Don't make me pull up the footage, Tucker.
I have the wicked gossip on me.
He's gone. Well, the gelatinous cube was the thing. You would have got that stuck on him. It would have actually melted him down. And you want that back equipped because we know that for a fact that does good damage against the final boss and would do good damage against Vulcanair. It's the big cube that bounces around and rolled with triple critical chance. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay, because you were like, I got that equipped and ready for the boss. You kids are making me struggle, Tucker. You're making me struggle. I swear there's gold up there. I'm impressed by just how many times we've had to run the 3rd difficulty on this PLC. If they would have done like something cool, like with the Tiny Tina's Dungeon Keep, they had the tree monster actually drop the bee shield, which was the best shield in the game. They put this gold golem down here, which I'm pretty sure is a new enemy, and they just threw a quest item on him. A unique would have been appreciated. It's the era of cell phones. Everyone's brain is turned into worms.
For sure, rougho.
Can we at least get faster at this? Still, the chaos level 50 craziness of, oh, here's the teeniest, tiniest spittle BB. It just hit your left pinky toe. You're dead.
Not even the strongest tank builds can survive this.
No, absolutely not. And it's all because of how they code this shit. They don't give the enemies like 500 damage or something like that. They give the enemy it's like your level against your damage resistance and then a percentage of your health, and they call that health gating. So no matter, you could have 50,000 health, but you're always going to get dropped down to that 25% level. You just hope you can survive the health gate. You need enough health for that, and then you have to have enough upkeep to heal. But having tons of health doesn't improve your chances much, if at all. I wish I could pull up the chaos rank information. I don't know why we can't do that right now, but I'm pretty sure they do like 650% extra damage, and they got 1800% extra health.
My game's breaking.
And even in my hardcore like Borderlands people like Adam that were playing this game at the beginning, I think I'm the only one on the friends list. Tucker and I are the only ones on my whole list of Borderlands fellow gamers who actually runs around in Chaos level 50. The rest of them just said screw it, didn't even get there. You can't blame them. It's too bad because it is like
probably not gonna have much will to play this game anymore.
I just think that they don't like the grind to them is too intimidating, and it sucks because everyone pretty well agreed like this is the best they've done with endgame. This is one of the best launch Borderlands there's ever been. Wow, they actually have a designated endgame activity from the very beginning. This is great. And then they pretty much just let it sit for 6 months outside of these PLCs, and they never did react to the fact that the fans really trashed the PLCs and felt super underwhelmed by them. And the game didn't survive the PLCs, and I think that's why most of them aren't at 50, is because once the first PLC came out, was negatively received, got trashed from here to Kingdom Come, and Gearbox didn't make any reaction. They just kept their heads down, just kept pushing out these PLCs, which have all been basically the same thing. You know, we talked about this quite a bit the last time we recorded, but they boil down to 5 rooms. Sometimes you can speedrun them, which is preferred, and most of the time it's just a random objective. Oh, you know, you gotta wait for the troll to spawn, or you gotta find the loot. The instrument in this case. And then a boss, and that boss tends to have a ton of immunity phases, and there's no getting around that. I appreciate their creativity. I mean, there's definitely some, like, there is things in here. There's a knight, there's a dragon. I probably come across as a huge hater, but I'm really not. I actually really like Wonderlands, especially playing with Tucker, like friends. I enjoy it considerably less solo these days. It's pretty tough to like stay engaged with it solo, unfortunately. A lot of that's just because there's like no hype. You know, it's tough to be like, yeah, I'm super motivated for this game that nobody seems to give a shit about, especially as a content creator. I still really like it though. I mean, I really like shooting stuff in it. Like when it's fun to actually get in here and you do some damage and you run around with your nephew or whatever. Yeah. But even then, I don't know that Tucker and I could do like when the game launched and we were beating the story and we were doing like 8-hour sessions. Well, I don't know. What do you think, Tucker?
I don't think it's worth it anymore.
I just overall wish it was more supported.
They could have done good with these. They could have remade the PLCs and made them better.
Yeah, or like, hey, we're gonna do more PLCs. We're gonna do it for free. It's gonna be slower now, but we are gonna keep building up on this chaos chamber. And hey, we're gonna add some different modes, some modifiers. Hey, we're gonna do a true roguelike. You know, here's a mode, and you get like a super myth rank if you're able to go from level 1 to 50 on just random gear. A super myth rank gives you another hero stat. People will do that. That meta progression that roguelikes are really good at doing. Bless you. That way the time sink feels worth. I don't play Borderlands 3. Borderlands 3, I'll admit, is really sleek. It's cool. Logged in. Was playing this before Wonderlands launched. But man, this feels fun. This is good. And I'm sure that's still the case, but this is still the one I play. This is the latest game. Like, why would they not want to be hyping the latest one up? Because they quit supporting Borderlands 3. I think, you know what? I'm going to tell you straight up, and this is still controversial, oh my god. Look, there's a vaccine. If you haven't gotten COVID yet, you know, you're lucky. But I think like more than 50% of people have. You're probably, you know, I don't know. It's just kind of over. Like life is going on now, and feel sorry for anyone who got sick, anyone who died. Of course, I mean it's tragic, but life does have to go on because there's been just as many problems from locking shit down as there was problems avoided. And Gearbox shut down. I don't know that Gearbox has gone back to in-person work or anything, and I'm all for like remote work in a lot of cases, but with making games and creative work, I don't know. I know that one of the reasons Valve was so successful as a company with Half-Life and Half-Life 2 and Alex and Team Fortress is they totally all work in one big open space together. So that
They talk to each other.
They all talk to each other and ideas get thrown around, and they when I was going to school to make games, the Valve employee information was, hey, you know, we only hire the best. We want you to, if you come here, we only hire like leaders, and that's because we expect you to be able to organize yourself. They didn't have managers. It was everybody, you know.
You manage your own work.
Yeah, you manage yourself. Everyone had a technical expertise, and they put you in a room, and you form teams. You just come up with like, hey, these guys get along, and these guys are good at this, and they got a project, and they're going to pump that up, and obviously, Valve's been really successful, and people are still on Steam, and they're by far, like, they kind of own the PC space as far as launchers are concerned. And that was the result of everybody having a lot of talented people in the same room together so that ideas start getting bounced around. And we know that there's a whole lot of benefits with the human mind being socially driven to people interacting with one another. They've even found that people who are isolated for too long are significantly decreased IQ for some reason. Now, people do have to be mindful of their safety, and of course COVID's real, and I'm freaking vaccinated and all that shit. Of course it's serious, but we do have to live our life, and this is the point that I'm getting at, is the Gearbox, if they're still remote, I don't understand that. Feel like they should probably get back to the office. But I'm not the head of Gearbox, and Gearbox got bought out, and I don't know how much Randy's still involved except for doing magic tricks and singing about virtue signaling shit like, oh, you're a bigot gamer. It's just not the same anymore, man. Still love the franchise, really do. Love the idea, the core concept, the gameplay. Really dig it. But it's like, since BL2, even though I will say BL3 has a lot of positives about it, and this game does too. Tucker and I have enjoyed it. Like, he doesn't hate it. That means a lot. He's playing a Lands game and he doesn't hate it. But they never seem to be able to just bring it all the way anymore, or you know, like bring it to freaking 11 and push their ideas to the maximum. I think they tried one last time, two last, Battleborn and BL3. BL3 at launch, Battleborn winter update, and since then, there's some element of it that feels like they're calling it in. They're just calling it in because they never really went all the way on the Season Pass 2 for Borderlands 3. At the same time, okay, it's tough, man. It's really tough because so many people play BL2, and the biggest YouTuber for Borderlands is probably Jolt's dude. Well, he does BL2, and now he's burned out on BL2, and you can't get him to play anything else, really. He plays the new games at the launch, and then he quits. But BL3, dude, that should be that game. BL3 is, in so many ways, better than BL2. And people will disagree with me, but the scaling's better. They should have done a lot more, I will admit, as far as endgame activities, but there's tons of endgame activities. They got the takedowns, like they actually made their version of a raid, and I've heard people say, oh, that wasn't that well received. Hell no, it was really well received. They just didn't like keep making them, and they made that one really good one, the Mallow one, and then they backed off. They were so committed at that moment. I was so happy that I was still a Borderlands Gearbox fan in that moment, because it felt like they were bringing it. That, you know, Destiny had done this social live game service thing, and it had made so many toxic moves. They had made so many false promises. I was over it. I had positive memories, and you can play this game offline. That's the biggest thing. Like, it always felt like it was the most consumer-friendly, ethically, well, ignore Aliens, Colonial Marines, but ethically conscious for the consumer company, and they were making really, really cool games, and there was still a lot of young energy, a lot of passion behind them, it felt like. And then COVID struck, Season Pass 2 was maybe right before COVID. I just don't know that Gearbox has like been the same. No one's the same after COVID, for God's sake. Before COVID, I was a full-time streamer. I mean, you know, Tucker didn't shave. Quinn couldn't speak. Life is very different now. But a number of companies have really survived the pandemic pretty damn well. Tucker, for this game being built completely, is a game being built completely remotely, is that an excuse? Is it like, oh, hey, your game's not as good as we expect, but wow, it's really good because you did it remotely, and so that gives you like a handicap?
I think it does because it limits communication a little bit, but at the same time, they could easily just open up chat, like a Discord chat in the background, talk about ideas, and show him what they're thinking. Stuff.
Why is it though that it's like, I don't think people have really figured this out either though. Should we have to lower our expectations now? Because so many places are now working remotely and the economy is like completely busted and no one really knows what's going to happen next with the economy. Like, are we going to go into a depression? Is this just the new normal? Inflation's crazy. Blah, blah, blah. Without getting into that stuff too much. When you beat Wonderlands, it tells you as the credits start, hey, this game was basically developed entirely remotely because of COVID-19. And I know that that changed a lot of what their ambitions were and the scope of the project. And there's like the PLCs, for instance, which are not even as big as the free content for BL3. People feel like that stuff was built really quickly because they realized, oh my God, the game's not big enough. We need a season pass. So they had to throw in content that was going to be DLC into the main game because it wasn't big enough to get it out in time. And then they had to rush to make these PLCs. Maybe. If that's the case either way, and everyone's like, well, it's okay because look, they did this all remotely. It's so impressive. Is that a good excuse? Because you still had to pay $60 for it. You were still sold a AAA game. So what do you think, Tucker? Is it an excuse or is it not an excuse?
It's still somewhat of an excuse, but they should have done is maybe just say that it might take a little exponent one more time, but a couple months.
Yeah, see, you think they should have delayed it?
I think they should have delayed it a little.
Well, definitely the internet part wasn't ready. I will say, like, we've talked about this a lot. Wonderlands is surprisingly complete. It's still fun. Tucker and I still dig playing it together. It's just when you play it, and I really hate saying this, by the way. Oh, there's so much potential. We say that about so many games anymore. Fallout 76. Oh, there's so much potential. I'm kind of tired of saying it. And I'm kind of tired of this whole loop of, it came out, oh, it sucks, give it 3 years. Like, people eventually run out of years. There's that really old lady on YouTube who does Skyrim playthroughs, and she's probably not going to, like, live to see Skyrim or Elder Scrolls 6 the way it's going, because it's going to take so damn long, and then when it comes out, it's going to be so buggy that it's not even going to matter. I'm not sure that that needs to constantly be the excuse. That's fine when you're 20 years old and a game comes out like Destiny and it's like, oh my God, I think it was like 18 or 19 when that game came out. Oh yeah, sure, I got 5-6 years. Screw it. I'll play this game during the rough patch. Then you get to like me.
We instantly got him.
Yeah, we were doing really good. That's Borderlands, man. Tucker's mentioning this. And the last time we recorded, you'll see in our previous episodes, I kept mentioning, like, there's a huge issue with Borderlands games since Borderlands 2 that damage doesn't make sense. Nothing is consistent. You'll think that, and this goes back to the whole where 1 was more about the gunplay. Because it's so busy with, like, this procs when that happens, and X only happens in Y condition, and by the way, this is all, like, for some reason being handled through hot fixes and netcode. You have no idea. You might have a freaking debuff on you from 2 play sessions ago, and for some reason it's still there. And if you think that's like, oh, it's crazy, that sounds like that can't exist. Borderlands 2 had bugs like that throughout its whole existence. They found out that, like, in the OP levels, that if you stepped into a dot, like an elemental pool, even though you weren't taking damage, the game still had it as status effect damage active. And the moment you take damage, it might be like 10 damage, but it didn't matter because all of the damage that was supposedly stacking in the background suddenly would hit your character and you would just insta-die. This has been an issue for a long time, and most people, like, they'll be like, hey, this is kind of weird, and then we just never hear about it, and you just never know. But it does work most of the time, and I guess that for how much crap is actually going on in this game, I guess that's good enough. Tucker, hit it with the gelatinous cube. Remember, it's immune to all of our good stuff. And stick kind of close together so we can get a second win. Let's make this the one.
Here we go. We're hitting him.
Yes, we're hitting him. Keep hitting him with gelatinous cube. I feel like that's going to be our save. I'm down. Immediately get me, please.
I'm down too. Oh, no, never mind. Down.
I'm also very much so.
Shoot the snowball! Shoot the snowball!
Where's the dreadling? I had one. I needed one shot in the stupid. Oh, I got him.
I got him too.
He's down. Quick. Hit him with everything you got.
Hitting him, hitting him. Come here. Dang. Down again.
Can you get up?
I can get up. Yeah, I can get up. I think I can. I don't think I can.
Keep
I need
eating
help.
Skittles. Keep eating Skittles.
I'm back.
Make this the one. We got Quinn in the background as a fan. Skittle, hit Skittles.
Where's Skittle? I don't see a Skittle.
I know for a fact the moment that I was running to you, but it was going to be AoE nonsense.
That's fine.
He's immune to dark magic, so we know that's not gonna work. What do I need? What do I want to use here? Where's my rifle at? I'm gonna try this. Holy crap, there's a lot going on.
It's gonna either go really well. It's gonna either go really well or really wrong.
Well, I know that I got one gun that can do some decent damage to him. I don't know that this is the one. Oh god, I gotta quit switching to this. This one's mostly just because fire rate's so good on this one.
On your right.
Good call out. Okay, I'm gonna have to get some ammo. Good god. Wish I could switch over to a shotgun too. I should have brought my own riveter.
Watch out on your left. Big snowball.
Don't tell me I'm out of ammo already. Come on now. This armor's almost down.
As soon as that armor goes away, you'll be able to melt him.
Yeah, well, that'd be nice. Is he still gonna have his immunity when the armor's gone?
I don't know.
Because if he doesn't have immunity,
Hopefully
then
not.
probably yes. But if he has immunity still, Skittle, Skittle,
On
Skittle,
your left.
Skittle. I can't see a damn thing.
There you go.
I'm gonna go right back down though. There's too much shit
On
going
your
on.
left. There you go.
I need to get out of the hole for a sec. Okay, he's down to.
Did he lose his immunity?
I don't know. I'll try. No, he's still immune. Oh, there we go. There we go. The master's doing some master stuff. We got some.
One of the heads is about to die. I think he lost a head. Yeah, he lost a head.
I really need to avoid going down right now because my timer's getting low.
Yeah.
I gotta find some ammo too. You can hear all that procking, but it's not doing the damage. Oh my lord.
On your right.
Okay,
Oh,
like
nope, his head's
there
back.
was so much initial damage, and then I'm not doing anything. So I guess I'm gonna go back to the acid.
I think you're doing some damage there.
Yeah, the acid pistol seems to be the one doing work, but I'm really worried about my ammo. Come on, just proc something crazy. I'm so dependent on freaking dark magic that... Oh, get this health here real quick.
There you go.
I'm gonna try the rifle again. Hopefully it's not a mistake. It's just not doing very much.
It's like tickling him.
What do you think, Quinn? Big old dragon, huh? There we go. There's some procking.
That's a big damage.
That's a lot of damage. Come on, boy. Die.
There we go.
I'd rather him be nice.
That'd be nice, too, yeah. I wish he was nice to... Come on.
Behind you, on your left.
Why am I suddenly doing nothing? Oh, that was way close. That was so stupid close. I'm not happy about that.
Make sure you hide.
I'm just gonna try to win. Just melt already. God. Just melt.
Why would
Oh, he's sucking me in, but I'm just gonna do as much damage as I possibly can. He's so stupid close right now. I got my buff meister up. I'm just gonna poke the shite out of him. Let's go.
Yes!
Let's go.
Finally. Okay. This should be a lot easier now. Hopefully they don't have frost or dark magic on that.
He'll no longer be immune to what we're good at. He will be immune to something, though. So, Quinn, we should only have to film one more episode, and then you're gonna be in. So be ready. Alright, that was difficulty 3. We talked and we ranted and we raved and just one more. And then, God, I think that's it for this Let's Play altogether. Unless they do some more content, which doesn't seem like they're probably gonna do. So, see you in potentially the last one.